What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? We are finally back with Crime Theory and the one and only John Wedger, aka the Wedge, and myself, Ron Swanson. John's been gallivanting. Okay, that's what he's been doing. He's been up to his worldwide travels. Oh, and I've got no, hang on, somewhere. Oh no, hang on, hang on a second, John. I don't know where that. Give me a second. No, it's not there. It's not there. It's there. There we go. Nailed it. So good to have you back. Let us hear what you've been up to and how you've been, mate.
Well, I sort of took a bit of time out of work because I don't know. Every now and then it gets to a point where I just have enough of it. I call it hedgehogging. I just close up and shut down.
Yeah, that's all right.
And that's what I've done. Just sort my collar out. So I've been doing that and went over to France and it's sort of out of curiosity really because it's like going back in time when you go to France because just over in northern France, nowhere too far, but you go into a cafe, it's French people working in there. You go into a bar, there's French people in the bar. They've still got fishmongers, they've still got butchers. They've got everything that we used to have. You see police officers patrolling on foot, on horseback. I mean, Calais, for instance, there was 2 coppers patrolling. They had these big Shire horse type horses, magnificent beasts, with 2 tough-looking coppers on there patrolling a housing estate. And I thought, why can't we have that? Why can't we have that back? And then the police, if I could just make it relevant. But again, with the shops, it was their people in the shops. I'm not going to bring race into this or anything like that, but unfortunately, we're going to have to because.
Do you know what? Let's refer to it as legality of citizen, right? Because I think that's a better way of putting it, John. Because it's very easy for people that look like you and me to have fingers pointed at us and us to have called names when we talk about the situation that we're going to talk about. But what we're really talking about here is the legality of your citizenship. And I imagine that's where you're going with this.
Well, yeah, it's just observation. So go into a chip shop, especially in London, and find one that's run by British, English, or whatever, or Londoners. There ain't none. Cafes, there's not one cafe you can go in that's not predominantly run by Turkish. Shops, the area where I'm in now, there is not one shop where there's anyone. Because I call myself the last white Englishman in London now. Because the area I'm in now, that is pretty much how it is, and it's an observation. It's not an attack or anything like that. Them days are long gone, and I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is just that whole erosion of the British culture. It's just been totally and utterly eroded. And but you go to France, it's still French people running French businesses. But the one thing that got me was their police. So I went down to an area on the River Somme. Just by chance, just ended up there. And there's a little town there which has seen more death than any town in the whole world. It's had something like 1,700,000 people slaughtered in this town in the last century because of the First War. And so going to this town that's on the banks of the Somme. And I can remember, I think I put it out on your show, that a guy that I was dealing with, one of the ex-criminals, was a coxswain for bringing the migrants over on these boats, right? He was from North Africa, and he told me, he said, John, we don't do the Calais to Dover anymore. We don't do that, right? Because you're going to get stopped and there's too many hassles. He said, we go further down, right? He said, we go down from an area called Le Touquet, right? Which is pretty much just down the road from where I was. So Le Touquet is sort of 30 kilometres south of Boulogne. So you've got Calais, carrying around the coast, follow it around, you've got Boulogne, and then you've got this town called Le Touquet. And he said, that's the place we go. He said, we put in a boat, he said, all run by the Kurdish mafia. Now, when you listen to these podcasters and everyone else talking about these migrants, they're going about the Albanian mafia. Well, the guy told me, and he worked for him, he said, it probably is the Albanians doing it, whatever, but he said, this is the the Kurdish mafia, right? The Turkish Kurdish mafia that are doing this. The ones that used to bring in the boatload of heroin, he said they do this now and they go from the 2K. So anyway, I was down the area and I went to the little coastal town to have a look around, and the old bill are on it. They are on it. It's our old bill that aren't on it. They're criticising the French. No. The French are on it, and there were 3 up in a car. And they look how we used to look when I joined the job. You know, they're either lads into their fitness or they come out of the military, right? And they look like they were up for business and they can handle themselves, which I think is a good message to give to the public who want protecting, compared to what the offerings that the British police put out in the street.
Here's the thing. So, in your opinion, John, right, in this hypothetical scenario, if you've got military-age men coming over to a country who are being funded and given a roof over their head, we live in a world, John, where never before have we had access to delivery systems, right? And a lot of these individuals are taking jobs, not paying taxes, right? But see if we're going to actually talk about this from an invasion point of view, John. We've got individuals on bikes going around their local area able to map the residents of every address that they deliver to.
Well, this
do you see what I'm saying? Right? And from an invasion or they're sending over military-aged individual. It's just a matter of getting the firearms over now. That's the thing.
Well,
they just need arms in this hypothetical scenario.
Who's saying it's not happening? Because something dawned on me as being someone that's come from that background with that inquisitorial mind. And the police were there, and they were going up and down all the ports, all the estuaries, and they were out there. And I was speaking to one. He said, "No, we're doing it for the boats." They were proactively going out there, right, to track down these gangsters putting these boats in. Right now, the guy that told me that was the coxswain for this boat was saying it's €2,500 per journey. Right, the first stop, women and kids came, but then that sort of died out, and it's just these, like you say, fighting age men, which it is. They can argue all they want, it is. Right now, what if this is run by the mafia, right? They're not going to miss a trick. They're not. So if you've got someone who might have the €2,500, and you say to them, "That's okay, you ain't got it, but when you get over, you're going to be met by a guy. Just give him this." And it could be, like you say, a gun. It could be and it could even be a kilo of heroin or whatever. Why are they going to miss a trick? They're not. So I believe there's every chance where criminality is. It doesn't really know the boundaries. So when you have got this illegal migration, they're going to be bringing illegal stuff in with them. It would be crazy not to. It doesn't make any business sense to miss that golden opportunity. And bear in mind, these boats do it without incident, and they never get intercepted. And we mentioned it on an earlier one. They don't intercept them because they let them land and escort them in, and it's then classed as an arrival, not as an illegal entry. And
of course you do.
And they are coming from Islamic countries. Now, if we look at countries in that part of the world, which is North Africa, East Africa, and the Middle East, in living history, and maybe a little bit before that, but not going back into antiquity. In the Middle East, we had Lebanon, we had Syria, we had Palestine. Were Christian countries. Not that long ago, they were Christian countries. North Africa, Libya, Tunisia, and Egypt were Christian countries. Egypt now has got a 10% Christian, Coptic Christian population, which is being persecuted. There was over 70,000 Christians were slaughtered last year in Nigeria, in northern Nigeria. We hear nothing about that. It's a genocide against Christianity. There's a decline in Christianity in Europe, in Albania, Bosnia, and Kosovo, countries that before were Christian, right? And because we had the Bosnian War, which is again, the Christians versus the Muslims, but there's countries, such as Serbia and that are quite staunch and stand up and fight against the invasion of Islam. But 70,000 people a year convert from Christianity to Islam, but to go the other way is classed as apostasy, which could be punishable by death. And let's not look at that part of the world. It was Christian because that's what Paul had tasked us. St. Paul was tasked with going out there and converting, that area which was paganism before back to Christianity. In 1492, Spain kicked out all the Jews and all the Muslims, booted them all out, and a lot of Jews were banned from a lot of Europe. It was only sort of like William of Orange and that sort of brought the Reformation movement, which sort of allowed it back in. So that there has always been, this thing in Europe of keeping out these what they class as predating religions, these evasive religions, whether it is Judaism, whether it was Islam. But it looks like, it seems to be.
Okay.
It's Islam
Sure.
that is really spearheading this. Right. So if we go on, right. So.
Well, we've had. So just let me just pause you for a second, John. Right. We've had a couple of major things happen in the UK in the last 72 hours. I don't know if you're aware of them, but if you try to go on an adult website in the UK now, you need an internet passport. Yeah. Okay, you need an internet passport. It's under the Internet Safety Act, which is keeping kids safe. And listen, I'm sure we're all for all the things that keep the kids safe. That's great. Now, what we might not hear about is the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of YouTube videos that have been removed, have been sucked into the void. And we're going to start seeing freedom of speech being affected. Now, John, have you heard the latest about Starmer wanting to ban free speech in certain public areas, such as restaurants and bars? If you're overheard making a joke, if you're overheard talking about anything that doesn't align with the government's official statements, that is going to be a crime now. What do you think about that as a step forward for this country?
Well, how's it a step forward? We've got democracy in this country. It's based on free speech, and freedom of choice. And to do that, see, this is what happens with Marxism, right? Trotskyism and Marxism. This is what happens. And they sell it as we're going to have more rights, and the workers will be stronger and all that. But it's a big lie. People say about religion, oh, it causes wars. No, the biggest cause of death to humanity, right, has been socialism. Them extreme left-wing politics, they have been the biggest cause of a loss of life globally. Right? And this is what, Starmer's bringing in. Starmer is of that camp. He's a Marxist. He bordering Trotskyite. He's self-proclaimed in that way. And it's to keep the country in a state of perpetual revolution, right? So you're not worrying about anything else. There's constantly something else to occupy your mind and worry you with. And this is what they do. It's their ideology, and they're laying it out all over Europe. But one of the biggest threats to Christianity hasn't been Satanism; it has been Islam. And while there's a saying, while the Christians fight, the Muslims move north. And and that's what's happened. And this isn't an anti sort of, what would they call it, anti-Islamic or Islamophobic rant or anything like that. And then you've got to look at the origins of these words, Islamophile and things like that, and where they come from. But
what do you think about this one, John? What do you think about this one? King Charles opens wings named after himself at Oxford Centre of Islamic Studies, and the king also says we should learn to understand the Muslim world and embrace Islam a little more. Like, I'm sorry, but that's a wild one for me, John.
Well, they're doing it in schools, aren't they? They're making Christian kids take part in Islamic prayers.
Yeah,
I mean, look, Charles, I'm part of that camp of he ain't my king. The bloke, in my opinion, is a massive wrong-un. I think his belief system is a lot darker than Islam. I think he has got an agenda, and anything that destroys Christianity, he's going to be all for it.
God, it's funny you say that. Paula M and I have got some videos coming up this week and some live streams all about a man who worked as an advisor of Prince Charles for 4 years, in his own words, slapped the backside of Prince Andrew and joked with them on a daily basis. He lived next to Princess Diana. He took images of her with the kids. He was good friends, and was an artist who was going to be doing the coronation painting until a Sting team caught him talking to underage boys in Glasgow, in Blackpool, sorry. And we're going to be recovering that because the case, John, it's awfully odd when you've got a Sting team who've got hundreds of convictions, like a really good Sting team, like hundreds of convictions, John. They're fantastic. And then the one that involves a former friend of the king gets treated in a way that is beyond suspicious and beyond denial of corruption and conspiracy, shall we say. So look forward to that this week, guys, because that's going to be coming soon. But it always...
I don't know why that should surprise anyone, because it was a regular occurrence on the police when, you know, and I mentioned before, there's a politician who went on to become an author, and he was involved in a conspiracy to murder a woman who had exposed him and many others for wrongdoing. And, you know, and she had to be placed under witness protection. And that's why you have areas like Special Branch and the intelligence services, because these people can cause, you know, instability, whether it's towards a monarchy or politics, whatever. The moment you cause instability, then that's it. You're gone. You're out the way. You're finished. And also, it was interesting with these this thing in Epping with the migrant hotels.
Yes, it is.
And the chief constable gave a speech. Now, I mean, I'm not you know, proficient in statement analysis, but I do know a bit about it, and I have worked with statement analysts. And if you was to analyze the statement,
I know someone who does.
It was incredibly telling, and basically what he's saying is, I'm not frightened of any repercussions for my actions because this is higher than my actions. You know, I'm working on the behest of a higher entity. That is basically, you know, the subtext of what he's saying, that we were told to do this from you know, a higher level of authority than local government. And local policing. So it was really, and he stands there with total confidence because he knows this has come from the Home Secretary, and they know that it's come from above. And these Home Secretaries, we've got to look at them. Who are these people? You know, there's so many of them that have come along that have been involved in the cover-up, mainly of PDF file cases. We had Leon Britton, the cover-ups in regards to the files that Jeffrey Dickens gave him, which involved child abuse and Satanism. Then we had Theresa May with the 117 missing files. All the time, Home Secretaries. Who are these people? You know, it's but yeah, this. I mean, on so many levels.
There's a threat to society right there. I guarantee you, she'll post something on Twitter. These are the sort of people we need off our streets, John. These lunatics that are going to give their opinion on the internet, right? And this is one of them right here. This is a demographic for the police to be arresting at situations like this. It's a joke.
Yeah, we can see it etched in their face, the hatred and the anger. And
right? Yeah, she's loose cannon. She's loose cannon.
Yeah, dangerous. Yeah,
100%.
Sooner they round her up.
Never mind about the illegal entry people that are R-wording girls on beaches in Epping. These are the people we need to keep an eye on. You know what I mean? And clearly these three girls from the local frickin' office or the local salon are another threat right there.
Yeah, they run an organised shoplifting team as well.
John, they look like they are conducting free speech in a public place at will. This is not the Britain I want to live in.
No, same here. I'm appalled. I'm scared. I'm going.
Is that a white guy attacking a man of color in the background? I can see hand contact. Who knows? Jail.
That racist had turned their back on him as well. How appalling!
I'm just saying.
But the other thing they're doing in January 2026, they're abolishing driver's licenses. There is no legal need to have a driver license, right?
Sweet.
So, look, I mean, you don't downgrade stuff. If anything, you enhance, you know, the skill set and things like that. So but that could then mean that these people coming over can start driving. Then they are then mobile. They don't have to take the test.
That's what we need. What we need is really angry people whose countries we've been shelling the living crap out of for decades. Let's give them all. Definitely. I mean, I'm just saying, if I give somebody a spoon, they can do damage with it, right? But I'm just saying, let's add cars on, John. Let's give $3 grand on entry. $3 grand on entry, John. $3 grand on entry. And then a roof over your head, a bunch of new clothes, an iPhone, and then a Ford Focus. Sounds like logic to me.
But don't have them in these hotels. Give them a house with a garage for their car that they don't need
obviously.
a license for.
And a front and back garden, mate. Obviously, and not detached. It's got to be detached as well. It can't be, for whatever reason.
But have it facing Mecca as well, so that
obviously,
100%. that will help. That will help.
100%.
I mean, this is on two levels, right? So if we take it from the protester level, why are the police allowing people to jump on the windscreens of their van and kick the windscreens out and smash? Why aren't the police being police and policing impartially? So they should have got out there and started dishing out a bit of stick justice to people smashing up their vans. I agree with why the protesters are there. I'm sort of behind them on that. But when they start doing that the police aren't there to run away, and the police ran away and let people smash up their motors.
Yeah, but John, do you know that's by design, though? Do you know
of course. Well, it's because of what they've recruited. They've recruited. When I was in France, I looked at them. But they have the CRS, right, which is their riot teams, and they got out this van, and they looked a handy little firm. They really did. And then you look at these serials that they put out on these things, and they're just a disgrace, a physical disgrace. And that I am denigrating the good, tough guys and girls that do their fizz and do their training.
Here's the problem.
Really want to be part of it.
In a world where every copper is one of those coppers, that's the good copper that you just talk about, there's not that inner boiling sense of frustration. So you've got all these really good cops who over time are boiling over with just frustration at the whole system. I mean, you're a testament to that, John. And we're going to start seeing it more and more.
It's a joke to decent people. It really is a joke. So they run away from people smashing up their vans, which in my day would never have happened. I mean, look. I'm not going to get into the rights and the wrongs of it, but if you look at the miners' strike, those coppers went up there and took on hard, physical, tough miners, right? Guys that are in that pit and they are drilling and shoveling hard lumps of rock every single day.
For once, we're actually referring to actual miners, the job of miners.
Yeah, miners, the coal miners, and when the police went out there and they had it with them, toe to toe with them. And that must have been, fearsome battles that went on up there, real men fighting real men, and I'm not going to get into the rights and wrongs of it because, that's not what I'm saying. My point is that back then they were, and even when you look at the coppers, they were real men. They looked like geezers that could have it. And you look at it now, but I went to France and they were there. They were still how we used to see them. But they were on the street and they were a physical presence. They were an awesome presence and at times an intimidating presence. Good. That's so they should be. They should be intimidating. They should be. The public pay money to be protected. They don't pay for a fat, dumpy 20-year-old girl to turn up just to tell them it's not their job and to go away again. That's not what people pay to be policed.
I want to reiterate at this point to everyone who maybe is of watching this back or hasn't got a fully formed frontal lobe. This is entirely about illegal individuals who, in many people's opinions, seem to be of a suspicious age, coming to this country and using loopholes that our government seems to be handing out to criminals. And listen, the minute you step into this country illegally, you are a criminal.
Right. Here, I'm going to give you an example of the ludicrous tyranny that we're in now.
Hell yeah.
Coming back from France, right?
Okay.
Backed up within an obscene amount of wine and all that. 'Cause it's cheap and it's good and that's their thing, right? I don't know what the quota was, but I was way over. End of. Right. The other thing, right, that it's now illegal, right? And this is the oxymoron of the situation. It is now illegal to bring back cheese and ham from France or other EU countries into the UK. It's illegal. You will be stopped, you will be searched, you will be fined, and you could face criminal conviction. If you're bringing back cheese and ham.
Yeah, I think is that not a Brexit thing though? Because we're not in like we're technically not. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but I watch a lot of that Australian border patrol, and there's a bunch of Vietnamese people that try and get like the maddest stuff in the city.
I get that, but Australia is one of their countries that any foreign species becomes invasive very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of them things. So I sort of get that the Flora and Fauna Act and everything else. But look, even before we were part of Europe, we used to go on school trips to France. We came back with cheese, you know. Go and get some cheese.
No,
right?
no, you came back with those little red firecrackers, John. Different time, my friend. Bangers, my guy. Bangers. The bangers. Oh man.
And it was constitutional to light them and put them into letterboxes. You know, the
anything, John.
Boxes.
Anything.
Anything.
Oh, no, I never had the balls. Put it through someone's letterbox.
I think it was. It's part of our common law, isn't it, that we do it. But that's like, and you sit there and you go on the ferry coming back. And you got cheese, and I did. I had a load of cheese and ham and all that. And you think, yeah, you could cross there and not get stopped in a dinghy. You could be bringing weapons. You could be bringing kilos of heroin.
No, could you not take your cheese and ham down to the migrants and be like, listen, mate, I'll meet you at the port. Here's my brie. Here's my cheese. Here's a tenner. But carry on with the more important things. Because it could be.
Well, that's what I think the Kurdish mafia is probably doing. But not having cheese and heroin, but doing it with kilos of heroin. Sorry, you know, giving it to them. They're not going to miss a trick. So we haven't got a clue. Not only who these people are, what are they bringing back? It's criminality. It doesn't stop at niceties. It's going to start bringing in stuff that shouldn't be brought in.
So I watched a little bit of the old Red Dawn and a little bit of the new Red Dawn the other day, right? And it's interesting because in my head of the movie of this, of how it'll play out, we wake up one morning, there's planes flying overhead, dropping like cargo holders full of AKs into set places. But no, it's going to be drones coming in, right? That can handle a heavy weight, landing in incredibly accurate places to arm a group of ready available individuals. And that is pretty wild. I'm not going to lie.
I work with these lads, right? That get in trouble and all that. I can't go into too much about it, right? And it's very, very rare you get someone local, indigenous, very rare. The majority come from Somalia, Afghanistan, Iraq, you know, since we won. And they're okay, they're cool with me and all that, but one thing they have in common, they hate us, this country. They hate us. They hate us. I've said to them, right, lads, if this is when Fishy Rishi Sunak was in, and he was going on about conscription. I said, you know, you're all now British citizens. You're now going to be required to join the British military, do British basic training, and fight against our common enemy, whoever it might be. I said, right, you're going to take up arms for your host country. Every one of them said, F off, no way. And they hate us. And one of them said, your people give me a gun, I'll use it to shoot your people because of what you've done to my people.
Here's a great example of what you're talking about, right? And this is a big shout out to DGE Media. Make sure you go and subscribe. I will put a link to this video. And he's been doing really good work interviewing members of staff of the hotels who have left their jobs. He's done some great interviews there. But he interviews a very interesting man outside of this hotel after investigating multiple Deliveroo bikes and things like this outside the hotel. And then he meets this individual. Let's have a little listen to this, John, and we'll discuss it.
Where's the SIA badge? I can't see it.
Very good, very good.
Sorry.
Hi
guys, you all right? How's the hotel? You got a nice fresh haircut, mate. That looks beautiful. Very nice.
Here it comes.
For fun. For fun. For fun.
Come and be on the camera. Come. Yeah.
Now, John, as a policeman and Uber, as a dude that listens and watches stuff, both of you, I want you to look at this guy's eyes. That's all I want to look at. Okay, John, harness the Met Cop.
What tell you?
But don't.
I made weed.
Huh?
I'm gonna smoke weed.
All right, good.
All right.
That's good, man.
Roundhouse Hotel.
Yeah. It's a nice weed. Let's have a look at it.
No, why do you want to do?
Oh, we'll have a look at
I don't wanna
it.
show
You brought it up in the
I don't want
conversation.
to show you. I'm just telling you.
Don't show me then. Don't care that
To
much.
me,
Of course it is. There you go. Good for
look,
you, man.
weed.
That's not weed.
It's
Is it?
mixed with tobacco.
It's drug. It's heroin. Why do you care?
So
Oh,
explain
Why do
to
we
me.
care?
Why should I
Explain to me.
Why are you recording?
you
Let me
brought it
talk.
up.
I'm asking
Let me
questions.
talk.
That's why I'm
Oh
here.
yeah. He's not right in the head.
Wait for it.
Yeah, why are you recording?
For YouTube.
Why are you doing drugs?
Because, migrant
Why?
hotels interest us
Why do you care?
because, well, where are you from?
Do you care about me?
I care about, not you personally.
Why don't you care? I care about you.
Because I don't know you at all. So
I don't know
You
you.
look like
I don't-
Danny.
care about you, but I don't care about you either. I'm neutral.
I don't care about. I
I'm
care
neutral.
about you. I
Do
do
you?
care about
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
No, I don't think.
What we're looking at here, in my humble opinion, because I don't think he's a resident of the hotel, I think this is what we would recall. We would, if in a theory, there was sleeper cells who are there to, like, who are already there. They're here, doing stuff legally, and they were to try and bring people together. In a theory, in a hypothetical scenario, this guy could fit that bill, allegedly, possibly. I'm just talking. It's an opinion. It's not
Oh,
fact.
thank you so much. Yeah, so it's
This is why you're recording. You want to
yeah,
get
it's migrant hotels are
I
very
want to hear your story, and I want to hear about
exactly.
the drugs.
It's interesting for us.
Why do you want to hear my story?
It's quite.
I'm not here to tell story. I'm here to rule.
Oh yeah. He's
Cool.
I'm here to rule you, to rule Trump, to rule Elon Musk, to rule Netanyahu, to rule Jews.
Okay.
Yep.
yeah. They don't.
Right.
If
With
we
that
just pause
attitude-
one
What a
sec,
strange thing to say.
Just
I mean-
pause right. See, this is something people have to understand as well. When I talk to a lot of the young lads, especially the ones from the inner city areas, and I say to them about riots, race riots, like Tottenham, like Brixton, and they say to me, no, next riot we're having, right, it ain't going to be in our yards, in the ghettos. He said, we're going to go to the wealthy Jew area and we're going to do the Jews. So the anti-Semitism in this country is going off the chart. I mean, it really is going off the chart. When we used to get these reported hate crimes, and there was always anti-Semitism was different to race racism. It's got its own sort of box to tick and all that, but that never really got much. I never really worked a predominantly Jewish area, but these people, they hate them. They absolutely hate the Israelis and they hate the Jews. They do. I'm telling you now.
Look,
I
John,
hate
we
them.
talked about this, and it's interesting. Do you remember when we were talking about all of the atrocities that we covered from the remnants of the trauma of World War II, all the fathers that came back and the trauma?
Yeah.
all of that? What we're looking at here is the other side of the pond, then,
Oh
right?
yeah,
We're seeing-
these are people that military trained maybe, and they've been in horrific wars. They're going to be absolutely PTSD to the deal. And the other thing they hate homosexuals, and they'll say to you, the guys, especially sort of like the West African lads and all that, they say we hate the Jew and we hate the Batty man. That's what they tell me. This is what gets fed back to me in conversations that we have, and I don't
So just
think,
to be clear, we're discussing the opinions that have turned up on John's
Totally.
desk. We're not
Totally.
discussing the opinions of the Sean Atwood channel or John or myself. We're discussing the legitimate opinions of individuals out there in this country actively talking against it. So carry on, John.
I'm going to put it in a context. I have a job in which I deal with a lot of people that get caught up in trouble and bits and pieces, and the majority of them come from migrant families. The majority of them, there's maybe second generation here or whatever, some are, but the majority of them are migrants. Most of them Muslim, majority of them are Muslim, and they tend to come from Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia, and that's basically it really. And we have conversations, and this is what comes out of their conversations, And I say, well, what don't you, they hate us for what we've done to their country. They think we're in America's pocket. They think that we're just
One second, John. One second. Just to be clear, we are in no way stereotyping. We are discussing the opinions of individuals that John has interviewed.
I'm just relaying it. So
This isn't stereotyping. This is
No, not at
individuals
all.
who John has encountered, and we're retelling the opinions of these people to bolster the theory that there's individuals here that want to cause harm to this country and those who are in it. So I'm not going to be sitting here, and we're not stereotyping. John is talking about his actual real world experiences.
But they like me, and we have chats, right? So it's not that they dislike me or anything like that. But what they dislike is what I represent, and that is Britain. And they think that Netanyahu is calling the shots for America and for Britain, right? They think that the Jews control everything. They control the police, the media, the military, and everything. They have a hatred for homosexuals, a massive hatred, right? And they said if it comes to war, they're going to side with their people and not with us.
Well, this is it. But look, let me continue with this. There's a couple more little nuggets here.
It's a
very poor attitude.
You're a great guest. You're a great guest in this country.
No.
You're a great guest.
What guest?
Yeah, so you're a guest here, and you're saying you want to rule us.
This is my land.
Is it? Is it? Okay, got it. Okay.
Like,
Just to confirm, you are staying in the hotel, right?
no.
You're not staying in the hotel.
I can
He is.
I
He is
can't.
staying.
You know, at some point we will be going home.
I'm
You know
home.
that.
That's it.
You'll be going back home soon at some point.
No,
Yes, you
it's
will.
up to me.
No, actually, it'll be up to us.
Would you send me?
I would, yeah.
Send me.
I would if I could. If I could, I would.
Send me.
If I could, I would.
Call
In a
999.
heartbeat.
Call 999.
They don't care. But at some point,
Call NATO. Call
in the
Netanyahu.
future, in the Netanyahu, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, 1 second. Let me just get on the phone to Netanyahu. Yeah. So the coordinates. Hashtag. Send in the F-35. We have the.
He's not high. Even if he's high, tell him if he's not high.
So you don't live here? We thought you lived here.
I'm homeless. I'm here in front of you. In front of this.
You're well dressed for
You're on the hotel
well dressed
grounds.
for
No, he's not homeless. He lives there.
Your English is very good.
Again, this isn't about profiling. This is about interviews that are going on in and around these hotels, and the attitudes of some of these individuals. It's sad that the few will ruin it for the many. And you know, we've always been a country that opens its doors to people in the times of need, and we always have been. But we have a government here that wants to put forth an attitude of individuals who've come here illegally, who offer nothing but
here's
something
the
from the
thing.
state ahead of its own people.
There's ways of coming into this country, and there's ways of applying for asylum.
Yep.
And through that, you know, that there will be a form of vetting that will go on, because you don't want people that are convicted RIPs, and you don't want murderers and PDF files. You don't want them. You don't need them. But the route they come in, we've no idea. And if there is something that you're holding back, you don't want the world to know, well, why? How better than instead of going through all of that rigmarole, get on a boat, get straight across, and then get in with your kinfolk, your established community in these places, and it's warm, it's cozy, and it's paid for. It's win-win.
It is treason at this point, in my eyes. Listen, we need to push for this. Scotland needs another referendum, bro. We need another referendum. So does Wales.
Right, there's 5 countries in Europe that are being saturated, right, with migration. So the main one's getting hit worse is France. But France is a colonial power. So a lot of their migrants are coming from West Africa and North Africa, right? But they're getting hit massively, massively hard. And look where it is geographically and everything else. The UK, we're getting hit hard, right? And again, we're an ex-colonial power, so we're going to get that. But in addition, there are people that are coming from things that weren't our colonies. But there's links to the wars that we've been involved in, right? Germany is getting massively hit. But Germany is different because Germany openly invited predominantly Muslim migrants from the Ottoman Empire to help with its industry. So they've got a huge Turkish population and an ever-growing Muslim population, right? Sweden openly welcomed migrants, and it's now in sort of getting to a point of dire straits. And again, they're not a colonial power. They've got no ties to a lot of things, but it's just because of the liberal attitude.
Listen, I'll be honest with
and
you.
the Netherlands has done the same.
There is so many people in my area that are not born in this country, that are second, first, or third generation that came here. They've got awesome little businesses. They're intricate parts of the community here, and they're awesome. Like they're British people that have been here years. None of them look at all like me. None of them have religions like me. But we all get on, and it's great, right? We are taught. We're not. It's not about. It's for me. It is 100% only about the legality of your entrance to this nation, and your ability to be radicalized against it.
It's not just that. It's what it's doing to the psyche of the indigenous people, who should have preferential treatment.
Correct.
That's how all society should work. Look after your own. And we've always been a mongrel race. We've always been a mixed race. And the colour issue doesn't come into it, right? But they're now making it a colour issue, whereas before it wasn't. So we've always had the colonial.
I'll tell you what. We can throw in a colour issue if you want. Passport colour. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But so that's it. But what's happened now is that our kids can't afford property.
Oh, I think we might have lost John for a second there, or it might be me that's buffering. It's one of the two of us. Can you confirm if you guys can still hear and see me, and if it's just John that's buffered? Kate, I agree with you. The weaponization of that term, 100,000,000%. It seems to be that individuals can be tarnished with that very quickly. But let's continue watching this.
Well, and when did you come here?
Because I'm the king, man.
You're the
This
king?
is why I'm well dressed. This is why I'm confident. This is why I'm polite. This is why
I wouldn't say it's very polite. It's not polite to come to someone and say that you're going to rule me.
I've lived here. I didn't know this English before.
So you know this is England, yeah? We are English.
England told me.
Exactly. So you know you're not going to rule us. It's not how it's going to work.
I can rule you.
Go on then. Make me do something. Maybe do something.
Allah can rule you.
That's up to you.
You've got quite dangerous looking eyes.
That is the new face of my fever demon right there. Like when this dude says Allah, like
it's just your opinion, man.
You look quite angry inside.
I am angry today.
I could be wrong. You are.
You said you were polite a second ago.
Yeah.
No.
You said you were polite and you cared about me, and now you want to rule me and you're angry.
The anger in me.
Why are you angry?
Look at the anger in me. Like I can burn the whole world.
Burn the whole world.
Listen. Why are you running, man? Listen.
Super cool, Starmer. I mean, I'm all for more people who are clearly on the teetering edge of radicalization coming to this country with a mindset that they want to rule and that they have a predisposition that all of us will obey them. Nice. Now, remember, if you're a policeman and you're watching this, somewhere right now is someone in their late 50s posting their opinion on the internet. Okay? So I don't know why you're relaxing, officers. I don't know why you're relaxing. Got quotas to fill, I imagine. It's DJ Media. Yeah, 100% it is. Legend. What have we done? Here we go. Legend. I've posted his link a couple of times, so make sure you go and follow and subscribe. He does great video. He has one of the most inherently iconic Englishman fringes in the world, right? Cap and fringe combo like a boss. Like a boss. But this was another one where if it wasn't for people like DJE getting these impromptu interviews, we would never capture these moments. And we luckily live in a world where people assume the majority of people holding the camera are some sort of dum-dum or they've got 50 subscribers, right? But luckily, DJE has got nothing but traction in the algorithm. And long may it continue, you know, because internet safety is coming, and it's going to be a very, very, because listen, there used to be loads of channels on YouTube that done PDF busts. There's only a few of the big ones now, like Skeeter Gene and things like this, and those have been shut down by YouTube. Now John has returned. How we doing, John boy?
Yeah, battery went. I forgot.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm gonna put this back a little bit, and I want to continue watching this because he comes out with another few clangers, John.
I can rule you.
That's up to you.
You've got quite dangerous looking eyes.
That's just your opinion, man.
Am I
You
dangerous?
look quite angry inside.
I am angry today.
I could be wrong. You are.
I'm a bit
You said you were
angry.
polite a second ago.
Yeah.
No,
You said you were polite and you cared about me, and now you want to rule me and you're
Oh,
angry.
here, that's an interesting one. I'm going to get to that after we've listened to this, and I'm going to give you my opinion on that, Freebie.
anger in me.
Why are you angry?
Look at the anger in me. Like I can burn the whole world.
Burn the whole world.
Listen. Why are you running, man? Listen.
Running?
Quiet.
I'm here.
I will give you time.
That's what I want you to. I want to hear your story.
You are not letting me finish my story. You
Go
are.
right ahead.
Go on.
Go ahead.
You want to make me angry.
Go
I
ahead.
get angry. If I get
You said you were angry a second ago.
I get angry. But
All
I'm
right.
not angry.
But you're not
Ron cuts his own hair. Thank you very much.
angry, but you are angry, but you care, but you don't care.
Yeah, who are you?
Who am I? My name's Fred.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, same way.
Anwar.
Anwar, nice to meet you. All right. Very cool. Where are you from, Anwar?
I'm from Pakistan.
From Pakistan. Whereabouts in Pakistan?
Kuwait.
Okay, very cool, very cool. How long have you been here for?
4 years.
Uh-huh.
2021.
So do you think maybe in Pakistan, is there something you're escaping? Is there some...
Do you think you have everything? Fine.
I'm just asking you. We're here to your show.
Do you think I'm here to?
You just said, well, with this attitude of ruling,
Why are you here?
etc. So I'm wondering, are you escaping something in Pakistan?
I like to rule here
No?
in the UK.
All right, so he gets intercepted here. Now, here's the thing. Individuals like DJE, and I mean this full-heartedly, in my eyes, these guys are the guys that you see reporting the news from foreign lands with the blue helmets and the blue vests on. They're just already here, and it's just not started yet. These are the guys who are reporting on the realities that are pushing back against the government. These are the things that go against what we're being mainstream news told, right? There's no one here that would cause us harm. These aren't dangerous people. They're seeking asylum, sympathetic mindsets projected. But the realities don't add up when you step outside. And that's what we're seeing. So I don't think it's going to be a case of affecting channels like this. I think it's going to be a case of...
Look, I think we've got to look at the reality of this. People have always come here. That's why we've had an immigration department, and that's why we've had asylum laws and things like that. Even in the police, always there was people asylum seeking. We dealt with it all the time, but they came through the normal channels, and they would seek asylum once in the UK, and there'd be all these different plethora of reasons that they could qualify for it, and if not, they got deported, and that's how it is, right? So I think I gave the stats in it, about 40,000 came illegally via the boats onto our shores, and only 12 got sent back, whereas the government has vowed 1 in, 1 out. It's absolute nonsense. They're not sending anyone back. They're being processed and being kept, and the age group is this demographic, this late teens into early 40s sort of age, and we've got to look at that as a fact. It's not attacking it, and they're being put up in hotels that are costing a fortune. It's not like years ago when they came here, they weren't allowed to work. There was huge restrictions. There don't seem to be any restriction on these people, and our kids can't afford.
Well, no, John,
buy a
here's the
house.
beauty of it. No, John, here's the beauty of it. So it's not that it's different now. It's that there's a system in place that creates an incredible political loop of deniability. So, hey, they can't come here and go in the hotels and work, except if you look at how delivery apps work, 100% they can. It's self-employed apps. So it's plausible deniability for the government because they're only acknowledging traditional routes of employment. They're not acknowledging the new age version, and they're creating these non-tax paying like hotels full of individuals.
But again, when people came over here, if they were economic, they had to be a benefit to the host country.
Yeah,
skilled artisans that came here and everything else. But also when you look at the policing now, the two-tier policing that's going on, which is upsetting and angering people. When you get the S offending against girls and the children, that the Ruda Cabana thing really angered a lot of people, and those that vented their frustration got a hit. I'm not in any way advocating that people I said they shouldn't be setting fire to bins and doing that, right? Oh. That's out of order. But what they got sentence-wise was ridiculously harsh. And that's because the government, because it's a left-wing government, and it puts in place an attorney general which sets the sentencing guidelines, and the sentencing guidelines for anyone going against the state, because it is almost a Marxist state now, are going to be incredibly harsh. And that is why Starmer is implementing, or putting proposals to implement these laws that we can't, because that is what Marxism is. You enemy of the state, and they want to get rid of religion.
Okay, John. So I want to discuss something here, which is a beautiful thing that you kind of touched on there. And it's how when laws and things are written, right, it's in the interpretation of those laws and things like that. Now, this is no joke. I mentioned this earlier. This was from 2 weeks ago. This is a discussion about the end of free speech in pubs and restaurants and in public places. So just listen to this.
But talking about living things too nicely, you're not allowed to do that, are we? Basically, this is the land of misery. Angela Rayner, she's going to make sure that we're not allowed to have a joke. No politically incorrect humour here. And not just on air. We got Ofcom to do that, don't we? Oh, no, during advert breaks, at the water cooler, having a chit-chat over the bathroom stalls. It's all going to be under threat because her workers' rights bill, which is just a disaster and a mitigated disaster economically anyway.
A workers' right bill, as tens of thousands of individuals come to the country illegally.
It's going to pressurise firms to spy on inappropriate conversations.
Yes, you have to wonder whether the Labour Party are deliberately trying to make themselves the most loathed and detested.
I'm sorry, the workplace is being what? Did they say what?
On inappropriate conversation. Rights bill, which is just a disaster and a mitigated disaster economically anyway, is going to pressurise firms to spy on inappropriate conversations.
Yes, you have to wonder whether the Labour Party are deliberately trying to make themselves the most loathed and detested and unpopular party in history.
That's it, off to the police.
Absolutely. So, John, we are now seeing that this gaining a little bit more movement. We've seen that basically all of the sassy websites in the UK, you now need an online passport to gain access to. Now, we're going to do a live stream this week, everybody. We're going to test some of these new facial recognition AI softwares. We're going to print off a whole bunch of different faces and just hold them up to the camera and see what happens. Because I imagine a lot of people are going to be seeing more and more of this being rolled out as the first stage becomes normalized. If this rolls out that in bars and in pubs, there's no longer laws for free speech, and we're seeing the throttling of certain websites, we're going to see over time more and more be taken. And it's a scary thought, John, to think that we could be sitting in a bar one day making a joke and suddenly cops turn up at your door because you breached your rights to freedom of speech.
It will happen because they've already done it online. People putting on posts and having 6 police officers turn up at a house. So it's already happened, and it is only going to accelerate under this extreme left-wing government that we've got, because that's the nature of the beast. That's what it does, And Starmer with his taste of his flavour of left-wing politics is along them lines, and going with that, that socialist agenda is the erosion of Christianity and the erosion of a belief system. The churches were banned under communism because it's the state that has to govern it. And that's what happens.
John, we've got very different religions. We've got very, very different religions, right? But I grew up in the UK, Scotland, right? I grew up with Christmas, Easter. My mum tried to drag me to Sunday school. My mum even tried to drag me to church later in life. Even though I'm not part of that faith, I'm totally cool with this being a Christian, I'm okay with it because do we really want a dynamic religious shift? Not really. Everything's kind of good how it is. But do you know what really got me the other day, John? I was watching a meme montage, and it was the best British accent moments. And it was all little moments from like news in the 80s and 90s. And just watching the people in the background of the newscasters who are standing outside, watching the people, the shops that were there. That's the world I remember. You know what I'm saying? And it's so different now when you stand outside and look.
Well, the London accent's gone. There is no London accent anymore. It's only my generation that still have it. If you go to a place like Essex, you might still hear a version of the Cockney accent. But in the next generation, it will be gone. They took this roadman stuff now, which will mash up of.
Sorry, listen, Birmingham's still holding strong for the English, for maddest accents that'll never leave us.
Well, and lots of places in the north will, but and Scotland definitely, but London's gone because it's just so culturally mixed.
Yeah,
and, you know, and the lads I talk to, and some of them 2 generations been here, they have no understanding of the topography of our land, the lay of our land, and none of the history of the land. None.
I think as well. One bit of advice.
Culture. The culture has gone. Just up the road from me here is a local pub. It's an iconic London pub, and it's a pub that is the only pub that's had an underground station named after it. It's a beautiful, beautiful building, and it's had to shut down because the population now is predominantly Iranian and North African now, and they don't drink in it. And because of there's no park in it, it relies on locals to visit it.
Interesting, John, because
it's gone.
Interesting because for our whole lives we've seen alcohol-free beer, right? We always know there's always been an alcohol-free beer that exists, right? This is the first time in my life where I've experienced alcohol-free gin, right? Why are we shifting to a non-alcoholic culture of social drinking? Why do you think that is, John? Why do you think
because alcohol is haram, and everything will soon be haram, you know, and again, it's the practice of halal meat and stuff like that. And there's some schools now that only serve halal food, and it's I know some places it's slow to happen. Other places it's there.
Dude, I'm not going to lie.
Where I am now is that it's in place now.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Everything I'm talking about bears no relevance to my life and what Edinburgh is like compared to England. Like, I'll be honest with you, or even Glasgow. Like, Edinburgh is still sound, but
it's just
to Manchester, John. And I've told you this story before. Like, I went to Manchester and stood in a street where there was not one shop in the street that had an English sign outside, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's the area that I never experienced it. It was wild.
I talked to my lads the other day, right? So how many do I have? 10 lads. And right, the majority of them, I think about 8 out of 10, didn't know the difference between a squirrel and a badger. Most of them didn't know what a badger was. I had to Google it and show them what a badger was. And they went, oh, they get them here. They thought that polar bears lived in Scotland, right? And they thought Scotland was you know, permanently covered in permafrost.
Yeah.
Right? And that had polar bears. And these are second generation lads that have lived here from migrant families.
See, Lindsay, this is the sad thing. Your statement of they're taking over. I would agree with you if it was like an invasive species that we just, you know, hadn't dealt with and it's spread slowly or whatever. This is by design. This isn't they have taken over. It's just they are following the plan that has been put into place. There's no way that discussing these possible invasions of Russia or Iran, like there's something been afoot here for a long time. The British government is papping itself, right? The royal monarchy is papping itself. We've got client lists disappearing. We've got witnesses in cases unaliving themselves, and all of a sudden the world is falling into this odd little bubble.
But it's creating, you know, a real staunch underground right-wing culture, which is going to be opposed to the system we've got in, and that's going to cause a huge conflict, which will be the ingredients for some sort of mass civil disorder. And that's how it's going. Our young kids, it's not just the migration thing, it's the greed as well. The way they pushed up house prices so that it's unsustainable, that the kids now can't afford mortgages, right? That they don't build social housing for local people anymore. They just don't do it.
I'll make a promise to you all. If Scotland ever gets another referendum and we win, we'll take England with us, okay? We'll take you with us, England, okay? And then Great Britain can just be Wales, And in fact, we'll take the Welsh as well. In fact, we'll just cut London out. Okay, we'll just cut London out.
If you look at a country called Burkina Faso, right, in Central Africa, you've got Ibrahim Traore, right, and he's turned around and he's a nationalist, and he said, we're going to make our country strong. And he's made everyone work. Everyone must work and build the country strong. Their economy has gone crazy. He's got rid of the international banking. He doesn't need the French franc anymore, the French euro. He said, you know, you're not having access to the British can't rape our gold mines anymore. The French can't exploit our oil anymore. This is now a man that did that many years ago in Central and South America, in the country of Chile, was a man called Allende. And Allende took over a country, and he said, no, this is for the indigenous people. We've got huge oil reserves. We've got the best fishing, the largest coastline on the planet, and we're going to put this to good use. So he started investing the majority of what they made back into the economy, and it boomed. And Chile went from poverty to prosperity in a very, very short period of time, which Burkina Faso's doing, right? And then what happened was America turned around and said they're communists, right? This is our communism, the evils of communism. And they got him deposed through subversion, and they put in a bloke called Augustus Pinochet. Pinochet remained in power because he was friends with Margaret Thatcher, because a lot of these people, these leaders, all went to Eton and they all went to Sandhurst and all that. They're all pals. And that country went into a despotic, torturous regime that anyone who spoke out against the system got imprisoned and murdered. They killed thousands and thousands of students. And that guy remained in place because the West needed him there. And I, you know, it's the same as Donald Trump. I said this to you before. Don't put your faith in these people, right? The devil speaks a language of lies. His language is deception. It says in the Bible, by their fruits shall you know them.
Oh, John, since you're on the Bible, make this your little Jesus section of the week.
No, the thing is, Ibrahim Traore has turned around and he said, I'm putting this back. My actions are my fruits. And this country will no longer be impoverished. We will no longer have illiteracy. We're not going to build tanks and militaries and all that. We're going to build roads, sanitation. The country did not have one refuge collecting lorry, not one. How disgraceful in you know, the 21st century, you've not got one refuge. So he said, we don't need tanks. We need refuge collecting. We need child literacy up. We need to raise our infant. Remove our infant death rate and raise our mortality rate. And he's turned the country around in a very, very short period of time, but he's made everyone in the country work. They have to invest in and work. What our country's doing is making them not work. They're giving subsidies to farmers not to farm the fields. You know, corrupt local authorities are totally unaccountable, doing disgraceful things with their budgets. You know, we don't see our verges cut anymore, our hedges cut. Years ago, hedges were cut. Even on council estates, the lawn was
I'll be
cut.
honest with you. That is not my experience in Edinburgh. Edinburgh still gets all that.
But England doesn't.
Yeah,
right? It's a mess.
It's a massive mess.
And we pay money. And also, years ago, take drink driving. Drink driving was a gamble, right? It was a gamble. Are you going to get? Because there's every chance the old bill would stop you. All right, there was every chance. Now there is absolutely sod all chance the police are going to stop you. Sod all chance, right? And it ain't going to happen. And when a cop car goes past, it's usually two fat women and one's on social media. You know, they're not out there like hawk-eyed thief takers, you know, waiting to jump on their prey like we were. No, it's gone. It's finished. And we need to bring it back. Now, if countries like Burkina Faso can do it, if El Salvador can go from having the most corrupt police force in the world to one of the best well-trained and uncorrupted police forces, if Rwanda can go from genocide and all the craziness that went on there to having some of the safest streets in the world and some of the best policing in the world in such a period of time, then sure enough, we can, as a benchmark of near enough everything that made the Western world good, had some connection or emanated from this land. We had the Brunel universities, the best engineering universities in the world. We had the train system, which was the best in the world, the best telecommunication network in the world. So much was a benchmark of everything: navigation, shipping, aviation. It was a center of excellence for everything. Now we're just seen as a joke, and for people of my age, it's humiliating. It really is humiliating. Our women used to cook food for the children while the men went to work and all that. It don't happen anymore. There's a lot of women now can't even cook. You know, they don't know how to cook. They've got no ability to cook. You know, we've got men that have, you know, they need an x-ray to see if they've got a day's work in them. It's disgraceful, man. And it needs we have no proper leadership. That's the problem. You know, and look at this guy.
John, what I'd like to do, just pause you there for a second. I want to test out a new feature, right, where I'm going to post a link, and that link will basically connect you, your camera, your mic. You won't have your camera shown. I've made sure that can't happen, but we will be able to hear you. And it's a new kind of call-in, John, because you don't have to download Discord or anything like that. You just click the link. It's not the panel link. It only lets one person through at a time. And I would love for you guys to know that you are 100% part of all of this. We want to hear you guys and your opinions. So there is a link that I'm posting now in the side chat. If you'd like to come on and tell us your thoughts on what we're talking about, or pitch a question to John or myself, feel free to do so, and we'll be testing this as we go on, John. So if anyone would like to come and join us, click the link and we'll speak to you in a minute. But carry on with what you were saying, John. Oh, I think John is possibly frozen. Or he said, no, he's definitely frozen. So yeah, come and join us. Or come and join me. Let me just double check that on this side here, I've got everything where it needs to be. Where is it? It's down here. Is it? Maybe it's not. Hang on. Okay, we've got Uber coming in to speak to us. How we doing, mate? Can you hear me? Okay, why can't I hear you? 1 second. 1 second, Uber. I can't hear you, and I should be able to hear you. Is it maybe because I've got you hidden?
Hang on.
Oh no, there you go. Yeah, that's you now, mate.
My fault.
John's vanished, mate. So if you don't get a chance to speak to John, because I imagine you want to give John a question,
Yeah.
we can circle back when John's here. But
I'm getting reverb.
That's all right, mate. You might get a little bit of reverb from me, but nobody else can hear it.
Only from me.
Yeah, I've not figured out. Battery's gone again. Give me 5, no problem, John. 1 second.
Don't worry too much, mate.
Yeah,
it's only me. I can part with it.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to try and fix it at my end just now, Uber. So we're talking through this. So is that any better?
No, because I can hear myself back in my.
Yeah. That's going to happen. That's fine. Okay, so what I'll do, Uber, is John's going to be about 5 minutes. Do you want to wait 5 and then I'll get you back on and see if anybody else wants to come on and have a little chat beforehand? Or, yeah,
go for it.
If nobody joins, come and jump back on them. But I know you want to wait for John, so most people will. I'll probably be left here by myself, but that's the way it goes, and we'll see you in a minute, brother.
I don't want to speak to you, Uber, so bugger off and wait.
No. Well, it was just in case anyone else needed a chance, brother. But yeah, I'll get you back in just a moment, brother. I'll get you back.
Oh, good.
Assuming anybody else actually wants to talk to Ron, there's a good chance no one will. So let me just copy this. Let me go over to this page here. And let me just check on a couple of little bits here. Okay, lovely. And then we put this in. Okay, now, if anybody else would like to come and join, whilst we wait for the wonderful John Wedger to return, that would be kind of awesome. So I'll copy the link again for you lovely people. Feel free to come and join us. There is going to be lots of new ways starting this week for you guys to call in, be part of the show, have your opinions heard, give us positive, give us negative feedback, constructive this, constructive that. And we welcome it because you guys are what drive all of this. Starmer is a SEX robot. Well, I'm telling you, that is a niche market model. That is a low run design. In my humble opinion. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and do all of that good stuff. And if you want to come and join us, click the link. You can also come and join us on the call-in Discord server, or if you're for any reason, any of you are on Ron's WhatsApp, feel free to call. Now, Ron, don't worry, Ron's not offended. If you all want to wait for John, I would be waiting for John too. Okay, so there's no criticism from me. Discord is down for me to do. That's all right. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We've got lots of stuff coming this week. I've got some pretty epic interviews lined up. We have a former supermodel who is currently working with Tony Busby to get her justice on what has happened with Hollywood and its elite individuals and a lot of the CEOs of the fashion world. It's going to be a great interview. And yeah, there's lots to come. There is lots to come. I've also forgotten about the other two things that are booked in because I can't remember the guys' names and I'm terrible. So yeah. Oh, also, there's possibility of a new weekly show with myself. I can't talk about that yet. Definitely got an interview coming up with Dr. Leslie, right? Maybe more. We will see. I'm waiting to hear back from the wonderful Matthew Steeples to give us a follow-up on his opinions on Maxwell and all of that shenanigans. And of course, we have content lives coming out on my channel on ProjectROOQ. Make sure you guys like and subscribe there too. We're going to be live at 10 o'clock exposing an individual on YouTube who likes to yappa, 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 yappa. And those yappa yappas manifested into threats of a child and a woman. And then the beer label fell off the whole thing, and there's just an absolute plethora of madness that a certain individual has caused. And we're going to talk about it later. We're going to talk about it later. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we do it. Julia updates her tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is going to be a banger. So we're delving into Julia's genealogy from a genealogy expert. And going down a road that is going to present people with no other option to change the importance of Julia getting answers, because this stuff is not only undeniable science, but it is prevalent to one of the largest cases that has ever taken place in my lifetime, or any of our lifetimes, really. And yeah. Also, Rod's house is super haunted, so we're going to do some ghosty stuff in here because you know how we like that stuff. Now, yeah, give me some questions if you guys want to fire some questions over. Sky Spirit, you can certainly ask a question. Yep. Are you sure you ask about the chance? Okay, no. So here's the thing. There's DNA, then there's genealogy. So the first thing we're doing is genealogy stuff. Then we're going to go into DNA stuff. Then we've got like a refresher of Julia's important points about the way she was raised from a child. And then we're going to cross-reference key elements with other high-profile survivors of global trafficking cases. Yeah. And then we're going to just cross-reference some points because... honestly, this is going to sound crazy, but the real dark story of the elites in the world that we know as this kept secret, right, could be so simple. It stares us in the face. It's maybe stared you in the face at your work. And opinions, luckily, are still up for broadcast. And yeah, we'll be doing it over on my channel because, in fact, we might do half of it on Sean's and half of it on mine, and we'll do again the stuff that's Ron ranting off there. But we'll see. obviously, when we get Julia out, we're going to be launching her channel. We're going to be doing everything on Sean's, all exclusive stuff. So there's loads. There's loads to come. I am on Discord. Oh, excuse me, Pamela. I'm an Agent Orange. Yo, sorry, guys. I didn't see you there.
And then we'll be doing over on my channel.
Are you there? Are you there? You're definitely. Yeah, you're definitely there. You're definitely there, Pamela.
I'm here. Yes.
Why is it a little?
I'm here, Ron.
Hang on a second. The wee pictures have gone. Give me a second. Let me just. Oh, is it because streamer mode's on? Hang on a second. It shouldn't be. Are we in the right? Am I in the right server? Can you guys hear them? Just say something for me, guys.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. I can't hear anybody else.
You can't hear anybody else. It's just.
I'm supposed to.
Well, I need to turn you down, Pam. You are freaking at like 190.
I'm allowed.
Yeah, no, it's me. It's me that's turned you up.
She's got a ball here.
I just need to turn you down. Okay, so how are you guys doing? Good. So John's not here. You're stuck with me. Is there anything you want to? Oh, thank God, John's back. Okay, so again, if you would like to come and join us, use the link in the description. I'm just going to pause on Discord for a minute. I will come back to you guys. John, I'm putting back on the stage. And John, listen, just quickly to throw you in the deep end here. We do have someone waiting at the back end here. It is Facts. And are you ready, Facts? Give me a nod if you're ready. Facts, can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Right. Yeah. Nice. Let me just, I just need to move you just in case, like, you're a crazy person from the internet, right? I just need to do a little bit of this, right? And then just put the big marshmallow over you. And then we're safe from any craziness. Listen, Facts, welcome. How are you? Tell us a bit about yourself.
My name's Pat. I've been YouTube creator for about 7 years now, but with not much traction or motion. Most of my videos get struck or copyrighted. They don't like the content I'm bringing.
Okay. What sort of content you bringing, Facts?
You call it just alternative information, more like
conspirafacts.
Conspiracy theory.
Conspirafacts. Yeah, I'm with you. The conspirafacts that, you know, sometimes we get too close to the larger picture. Have you got a question you want to throw out to John?
Yeah, I'll just, first of all, I wanted to thank John for all what he's done and all the people he's helped. And he, like, I don't see eye to eye on everything.
Yep.
However, John does come across as a genuine person. And the question I'd really like to ask is, how deep does this go, John? Is it like a finger in every pie?
Yeah, I mean, what was said to me, there was a guy called Lenny Harper, and he was the one who, so I just pulled my collar out. He was the one who exposed the Haute de la Garenne kids' home scandal, which had people linked to the, you know, central government and establishment people from the very, very wealthy islands of Jersey and Guernsey and all that sort of stuff. And I said exactly the same question of what am I looking at? He said, you will find this goes right to the heart of the British establishment. And I think the COVID thing was a sort of insight into this global government, this hidden government that gets referred to all the time. The fact that everyone was singing from the same hymn sheet when it came to locking the countries down and needing the vaccine passports and everything else. So we saw it there. But when it, in regards to like the stuff against children, you're dealing with broken people, very, very emotionally broken people. Even when you look at individuals such as Winston Churchill, there's so much of the right think he's a great man. I don't. I think he was an appalling individual that led a lot of young men needlessly to their deaths and a load of screw-ups and everything else. But when you look at his emotional status, he was a very, very broken man. He'd come from a very dysfunctional and sexually dysfunctional aristocratic family. And he had quite a few disturbing personality traits. He went on to run the government. We got people like Ted Heath, again, ran the government and was accused of being involved in the most horrific crimes against children and links to organised Satanism. This is what it goes down to, and this is what the glue that holds so many of these individuals together. This is how they will, like I say, a pauper will know a king.
So, John, would you summarize? Clear 91 has said global crime syndicate. Would that be a good way of summarizing
I'd say it's Luciferian. If we really want to strip it back and let's get rid of all the conspiracy and everything else, really want to keep it binary, keep it a 1 or a 0, I think we are talking about people that worship malevolence. They worship evil, and the trade-off is that they get all the worldly gifts that that this earth has to give them. Because bear in mind, the devil is the prince of the earth, and it is for him to give. But eternally, it won't help you. But this is what they do. But every debt has to be paid for in blood, and the more innocent the blood, the more power it has. That's why children are the target. And innocence. Once you strip someone of their innocence, you strip a child of their innocence. Even the most damaged, abhorrent individuals, people like Fred West and all that, they were victims of incest. So they were born perfect. They were born faultless. And they were just violated and destroyed, and their emotional self just stopped growing.
Right.
And that's what happens. And this is what the trade is. It's a trade in the innocence.
Okay. So, Fax, anything you want to throw back there before we go on to someone else, or any follow-ups?
I just wanted to confirm that I'm not going to go into too much detail, but one of my family members was an advisor to a politician, and I used to get to go with my 2 brothers and mother and father to all these really lush, posh things overlooking the Thames. And they had swans made out of ice with all mussels, cockles, whelks, salmon, steak, like all these politician types. And my brother said to me one day, this guy was like, he just like freaked me out. Like he was sort of, and like my mum and dad were really protective. And so like my nan the member of my family was doing her best, but I'm just confirming what John's saying.
Yep.
This stuff goes way back to these people. They're like just the front line. There's people behind them.
Yeah, 100%.
And the ones that they're the low hanging fruit, the ones they proffer up. And
100%.
it's the same with this Epstein list. And when Trump was on about draining the swamp, and then people would contact me, John, you've got to try and get hold of Trump. And I said, he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Please, we've seen that in this country. We've seen it with these chief constables. We've seen it with home secretaries. I'm going to make the. It's a lie. By their fruits shall you know them. That I think if anyone wants any advice from me, don't listen to people's words. Listen to their fruits. By their fruits shall you know them.
Okay.
And anyone who stands up and exposes it, like I did and many other people did, you're going to get hit, and don't be surprised. What do you expect they're going to do? Allow this to come out? It will never come out. Never.
So,
Fax, do everything to subdue this.
I hope that answers everything for you, brother. And thank you so much for joining us. Please feel free to join us again. And it's great from hearing you. Thanks so much.
Having me on the panel.
No problem, brother.
And John, keep up the good work. And yourself and Sean.
Nice one, mate.
Respect.
Cheers, brother.
Thank you.
Nice guy. All right. So I've copied the link. It's coming back out to you guys. Ron's figured out a way of doing this safely and in a way that, as long as I've got a trigger finger, I can protect us all from any madness. Now, we do have some wonderful individuals also on the Discord. I will be coming to the Discord in just a minute, everybody, so do not panic. I just want to give this another moment or two to run with this new call-in system right here. So, click on the link, come and ask a question to John, come and ask a question to me, come and give us your views. It's all about the community and your voice on the Sean Atwood channel. Moving forward, it is the way that we're going to be doing things. So if you would like to come and be part of it, click on that link anywhere in the world. It's free. It's not a phone call. You're just clicking on a link, and you don't have to show your face. The big marshmallow will have you blocked on screen anyway. And until somebody braves it, let's go and jump over to the Discord, because I know that Uber is definitely eagerly awaiting a conversation with you, John. Uber, are you there?
I'm here, mate.
You're with John. Fire away.
Hello, John. Nice to speak to you again.
Hiya, mate. Yeah, please go ahead.
One quick thing. How interested are you in statement analysis? How much do you know?
I've got a healthy interest in it. I've got a working knowledge of it. I work with probably the best one that advises the UK police. I have had contact with Peter Hyatt, and also I've worked with one that did stuff for the FBI. So I am a big fan of it. You know, like it's not anything that's forensic. It's not religion. It has its faults and everything else, but you know, it's a good tool. It's a very good tool.
It's surgical, though, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah. And it's
because I'm a behaviour analyst, so I go by body language and linguistics. So I would do statement analysis, but I use body language as a guide as to stress indicators, so I know when people are getting uncomfortable, and then I use the statement analysis and the elicitation techniques to get to the truth. And I think statement analysis is surgical. That's where you really get to the heart of things.
What I found really interesting.
I'm just trying to get my qualification now. It's literally a formality now, John.
Well, I mean, good luck with it. I mean, the one I found really interesting was when I started to deal with people with more.
Oh, we may have lost John again.
Breaking up, mate.
Yeah, we may have lost John again. Let's see how we get on here. Possibly. One moment here. Everyone can find the right button. There we go.
John hasn't paid his internet bill.
Yeah, no, I think it's his phone. I think his phone keeps dying or something crazy. I imagine it's charging at a slower rate than the batteries.
John, get a top-up voucher. Hurry up.
Yeah. So, so we'll come back to Discord in just a moment. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. John's links, of course, are in the description. There's a lot more coming this evening on the Sean Atwood channel, and of course from myself. So stay tuned for all of that. Plenty coming this week. Friday nights, we're going to be starting off on the Sean Atwood channel with some awesome interviews. Friday night is going to be my juiciest interview of the week on Sean's channel, and there's going to be a lot, man. Thank you. There's going to be a lot coming, and it's exciting. It's exciting. You know, 1 million subscribers. It's a whole new milestone for the community, for the mod team, for the Sean Atwood channel, for all of us. So it's exciting. Now, while we wait for the wonderful John, let us cut back to Discord. And Agent Orange, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Have you got something you want to throw out, or you want to wait for John? Because I imagine you want to.
No,
you want to throw it out there.
I
That's
just
fine.
You have something out there. Just wanted to know how deep these crimes go. They questioned a cartel, and they asked them, what are they gonna do regarding Trump's going after them? And all they said was, we're gonna lay low, protect our assets for the next 4 years.
Okay. Damn. Yeah, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good at all.
Right. So that means that politicians are involved at that level, you know?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Of course. And that's the corruption that we speak of. Well, John has made it back. Agent Orange, I will cut back to you in just one moment.
That's fine.
And we have got Freebie is from the chat. He is on the stream. How are you doing, Freebie?
Yes, Ron, how are you doing, son?
I'm doing good, mate. You're live with myself and the wonderful John Wedger. How are you doing today, mate?
Good. I'm not too bad, mate. It's good to finally talk to you.
Yeah, man. Well, it's good that we've finally got a safe portal that can be put in the side chat, and I've got a defense from the crazies. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So are you wanting to stay off camera, or are you happy being on camera?
I'm not too bothered, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I can keep you off. It was just I trust, you know, there's a level of trust with someone like yourself. I don't imagine you're going to whip out do any windmills with private parts that are going to get the channel banned.
Mate,
if you know what I'm saying.
I haven't got nothing to windmill you with.
So we'll keep you off anyway. But if you got a question for John or something you want to throw out to John?
Well, yeah, I've got 2 questions, to be honest with you. First of all, Ron,
yeah.
First part's for you. It was more the YouTube thing I was worried about before.
Okay.
I'm worried with all these auditors going to these petitions.
Yep.
The police are going to encourage this as acting as rioting, you know, encouraging more people to come.
Yep.
So then they're going to turn it onto the YouTube world, and they're going to start putting bans on people.
Well,
and I'm just worried that that'll stem onto like.
I don't think it needs. I don't think it needs to be as complicated as that. I think you could arguably say that the Child Safety Act could extend to not just distributing and broadcasting, but the recording of. So we're slowly going to see the integration of the common mindset that filming in public shouldn't be allowed unless you're a CCTV camera, and that'll eradicate it all. They won't even go down the road of complicating it for themselves. They'll just.
Well, that's where I'm worried about it, because then they stop once they isolate the filming, unless you're literally a branded company or a CCTV camera.
Yeah,
it knocks everyone off YouTube, doesn't it?
Well, it does, but I imagine if you're self-employed in a registered business and choose to wear chest-based CCTV, that would be a workaround.
See, I thought this, like, surely if you're self-employed, you can make your own credentials.
This is what I'm saying.
Your neck is an ID badge.
100%. 100%. So there's always going to be ways around stuff, right? There's always going to be ways around stuff. But as far as I see the auditing community, as we call it, they are. It's like if we were in a full-scale war, those would be the people with the blue vests on going and reporting
100%,
it.
yeah.
Like, I don't mean going to a foreign nation, but from our nation. You know, these are the people.
Absolutely. The only reason we're seeing it now is because of them.
Correct.
So absolutely 100% with you. We need.
And then we're seeing major downplaying of events like riots, protests, and people's opinion is being downplayed. But it's not downplayed when it is recorded and put out there. When individuals are standing and talking about how they're going to rule and do X and Y, that is not. That is the reality. That isn't profiling. That is what is happening in these areas.
Okay. Next thing I want to ask for John.
He's not here just now. His phone is
okay. Ron, you might be able to answer this then.
Okay.
Right. There's a YouTuber that goes around and he catches the coppers out for wearing these certain badges.
Okay.
Called the Thin Blue Line.
Okay.
And he calls it a gang badge. It's related to something.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I can't work it out.
I would wait until John's here, so that when you ask that question, it's relevant to an ex-copper and doesn't seem like we are having a conversation that could be seen as against this wonderful government and all of the wonderful things it brings, which I imagine is going to be a problem at some time in about 8 or 9 months' time on YouTube. So let's just get ahead of the problem.
Okay.
Because there's...
I won't say anything.
Yeah, man.
Did you watch this week's Dexter?
I've watched it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Listen, I just want to say the first original series of Dexter, brilliant. The spin-off series about his son, freaking brilliant. The spin-off series about him after what happens at the end of the original series, brilliant. The series that's on now, brilliant. It's all brilliant. There's not a single
it's genius, isn't
it's brilliant.
Absolute genius.
The only questionable Dexter anything was the weird character brought in at the end of the final original series that was like the psychiatrist that worked with Dexter's dad. Anyway, that kind of ruined the narrative. Evelyn. Yeah, but anyway, let's not ruin anything. But if you've not watched all of Dexter and you just want to shut yourself off from the world and want to binge something over like probably 6 weeks, I imagine, because it's an old school series where it's 24 episodes at 50 minutes an episode, and there's at least 10 of them, and then all this follow-up stuff. So get it watched. It's just banging. So good. It's so good.
Mate, it's genius. Absolute genius show.
Yeah, so get that watched. Also Moblands, if you're looking for something else. That's another banger. Yes. Now, of course, we're just going to wait and see if the wonderful Mr. John Wedger returns. If not, there is content scheduled at 10 o'clock on the Sean Atwood channel. I'm sure you will be redirected or given the opportunity to redirect. But what I'm going to do just now, John, Freebie, is put the link back out there. And
absolutely, yeah.
By next week, I'll be able to have someone live and then up to 9 people live and then people in a green room that I can bring in. This is just the broadcast bitch version of the software I'm using. So
Sound.
Yeah. So listen,
Right, well,
thanks for
very
joining.
much for your time,
Yeah,
Ron.
yep. Come back again, mate. Pleasure to see you,
Absolutely.
mate. Take it easy, brother.
All right, bud. Job.
Okay, so new link. Come join me. Whoa. Right, Ron's hearing madness outside. Just give me a second. Honestly, because we've got this huge, like, Scottish nature reserve next to my house, loads of people walk their dogs, and because there's like a three-way junction of three major points of this area that converse into the park, so many people walk through it, right? And different people take different levels of care when it comes to dogs off of leashes in areas where there's loads of dogs off leashes that they aren't necessarily familiar with. And man, I mean, I seen one of the most one of the most traumatizing things ever of this big dog off the leash, wee dog off the leash. Wee dog acts like a wee fanny to big dog. Big dog beats its ass. And just imagine it in a fist fight, because that's way better than the reality of tiny dog versus massive dog. And man, it is wild. So yeah, if you are a dog owner, keep your dog on your leash, okay? Unless you're in a place where you know all the dogs, because people are dumbasses and will let I don't understand how people just let their dog off a leash, walk up to a dog on a leash, right? It does my head. Ron, are you near Trump's golf courses? Where are these? Is it St. Andrews? A little bit. Is it St. Andrews? I don't know where he is. Mr. Wedger has returned. John, you are being...
the internet's going down, the battery's stopping. It's a bit of a mess.
Do you know, I heard a really interesting term the other day that was referred to as bandwidth banning, right? And you're the only live stream all week where I have a problem with a connection at my end. Like I get a visual, there's a connection error. And bandwidth banning was coined by one of the individuals that was on our live a few days ago. And it basically means that when people know that you're problematic, they'll throttle the amount of bandwidth a website will assign to live streams, which then subsequently refers to how many people that it will alert, because every time they send out an alert, that costs money. It costs bits. It costs memory. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, for example, one of the biggest live streamers in the world, he streams on Twitch, maybe 40, 50,000 live viewers every day, but refused to monetize it. So Twitch never made any money off of him. And it was costing them about $14,000 a day in bandwidth for him streaming.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah, so I mean, back in my heyday, yeah, I got known. Theresa May mentioned me a couple of times in Parliament and things like that. So I did get known, and the media knew who I was, and I just got classed as a conspiracy theorist back then. You know, not so much now, but. Am I an issue? I don't know.
Well, look,
I was an issue at one
If you're an issue, right, you're my favorite kind of issue. We have got Sky Spirit coming and joining us from what looks like a freaking dungeon or something. Sky Spirit, do you want me to put you on camera, or do you want to stay off camera?
Go for it.
Okay, well, let's just make you a little bit bigger, and let's move the freaking... Oh, no, Oh, wait a second. Hang on a minute. Why is there... Just give me 1 second, everybody. I've got two collab cams, which may have been the reason for the echo. So just give me 1 moment while I go through all this. There you go. Turn that one off. And then we've still got this one. Sorry, everybody. You just need to bear with me. But yeah, Sky, you can ask your spirit. Well, you can ask Sky. You can ask your spirit. Sky Spirit, you can ask your question whilst I'm doing this.
Thank you. Hang on. I'm struggling to hear you, and I've got a bit of an echo.
Yeah, give me a second. I will try. You will have a little bit of an echo from me, but you should be able to hear me. So if you've got a question, let us know what it is.
Okay. It's just a bit weird because, like, I've got an echo from me. It's really odd.
Yeah, sadly, that's showbiz. I will figure out why. I'm struggling trying to do it live, so
I'll just find the strength deep within to deal with it.
Yeah. So, have you got a question for Mr. John Wedger?
I have. Yes. Right. It's basically, I don't know if this is for you, Ron or John. It's like, if we're being lied to by the government about the dangers of we're not being informed about perhaps the background of some of the people coming over illegally and things like that,
Okay.
and we're being encouraged to be really apathetic about it, and why? What do they gain from that? What is the gain and who's gaining from it? I don't get it.
It's a game of mathematics. So if you've got an entire nation of 10 million people and you put out public service announcements like this, you are going to win over a percentage of that population. A percentage are going to dial in. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what's the gain?
The gain is less civil unrest before whatever they've got planned is happening. It's more people sitting and obeying and consuming, and less people out protesting and pushing back.
But what do they gain from flooding the country with people that we have to pay for that might cause us harm?
Okay, so in Ron's opinion, there could be a scenario where they allow civil unrest to get to such a point where a martial law needs to be declared. Everybody that came here illegally is kicked back out, but it comes at the cost of the 15-minute city. It comes at the cost of imposed or enforced new way of life, but people are going to willingly hand it over because some people believe that liberties and freedoms are two different things. And there's still these people that believe that they will hand over their freedoms for liberty because they're dumbasses, right?
Yeah, I'm with you. And like create a big problem and then offer the solution, isn't it? And the solution is what they always wanted in the first place.
Well, I don't know what the end game is because they've got a bit of a mad side quest on it all. But to me, it reeks of we were going to arm a bunch of people that really don't like your country, use them all as puppets, and then use that civil unrest as a way of further controlling this nation. Or that's my best guess. John, what are your thoughts?
Well, we can't put our standards on these people. If you look at, like, say, Burkina Faso is really interesting because this guy is benefiting because he's watching his nation grow strong, he's watching his people go strong, and he's not seeing them suffer and die. So he's making everyone go to work. There's none of this migrants coming in. You're in that country. You are there to work hard and make it strong. So the benefit is one of benevolence. But when we look at what they're doing here, the benefit is one of malevolence. It's a very, very dark agenda, in my opinion, what they're doing. Because in the name of decency, is there any benefit? Of course there isn't. It's absolutely wrong. It's criminal and it's outrageous. And it's the same as when I was investigating the child abuse stuff. It was suppressed, it was hidden, and anyone who dared go near it and expose it got hit. Well, where's the benefit? If you protect your children, your adult population, when they get to fruition in them years, become hardworking, decent, diligent, loving, caring, sympathetic, empathetic people. But if you abuse them and you damage them and emotionally you scar them, they're going to grow up dysfunctional. They're going to grow up abusive. They're going to grow up with addiction issues, self-harm, a need for oblivion, and all that. Where is the benefit? And where is the benefit in covering it up? Well, when we look at it in a benevolent way, there is no benefit. But if we look at one from a malevolent standpoint, there's every single benefit because broken people are easy to control. They spend a lot of the time then they might be dependent on the state for employment because there's a hatred of any sort of hierarchy. There's a hatred of anyone in authority. That there's a lot of mental health problems causing sickness. So they rely on the state. And the state can do what they want with them then. They can medicate them, they can imprison them, they can do this and do that from cradle to grave. They will make money out of them. And the whole system is, oh no, it's not going to go again, is it?
It looks like it is, John.
Right, can you hear me?
Yeah, turn your camera off.
Right, anyway, it's back. It's just frozen for some reason.
Yeah, there you go.
But what I think here is like the COVID thing showed us there is a hidden hand. There is another layer, another strata above it. And coming from someone who was a born again Christian, the St. Paul who took Christianity, you know, to the known world, said, "We fight not against flesh and blood." So it's not hand-to-hand fighting, but wickedness and principality is in high office. He warns us that this is evil in high office. So if we're seeing that this is evil in high office, it would explain what's going on. And could it lead to bloodshed? Well, yeah, if there's a civil war, they estimate in a civil war, up to 2% of the population will die. So in this country, that'd be 3 million people die. And if you're looking at how evil works with the blood sacrifice, you know, that's a sacrifice, you know, to the demonic, through blood, through hatred, through pain, and everything else. So they make, if these are people that don't worship the same God as us.
One terrible deity that begins with a letter B. We're not going to say his name, right? But it begins with B. And
Bernard Manning.
Yep, sure. Yeah, Bernard Matthews. It all points back to that. And we're going to delve into that in a little bit more detail this week. Now, I'm just going to quickly run to the fridge and grab some ice, and then I'll return. I'm going to sneeze.
But if we look at the entertainment...
Okay. There's a theory by David Icke about the archons and how basically they are harvesting negative energy, which sort of fits in with your explanation, John, a little bit, because that's like a ultimate evil, harvesting the fear and negative emotions to feed itself, and that is in itself the reason for his existence. But John can't hear me either, can he?
No, I think John's frozen, but Ron's come back, so don't
Ron's
worry.
come back. I was all by myself.
Yeah, don't worry. You don't have to hold the fort down. I think we may sadly have lost John. Let's just keep him on the screen like this. Why not? That's hilarious. But Sky Spirit, there's the freaking Discord thing that I'd lost. 1 second. There we go. There we go. The Discord can sit there. Big marshmallow can come. There we go. So,
have I got a marshmallow over my face?
No. Your face is broadcast to the world. But what we're going to be doing, people, is in about 10 minutes, Sean will be live. Trump versus Maxwell, South Park, Joe Rogan, Colin show number 8. Do not miss it. I will be live on the ProjectROOQ channel. If Epstein is not for you, I'm going to be busting the chops of an individual on YouTube who thinks threatening women and children, false valor, lying to the Queen, all kinds of wonderful aggressiveness towards women who turn him down, and this toxic culture that is being facilitated in a corner of the internet we're going to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But Sky Spirit, how much fun was Friday night? Did you have a good time?
Yes, I did.
Have a good time?
It was awesome.
Bit of a nostalgic banging tunage going on.
It was awesome. It really was a great night. Thank you.
Yeah, it was good fun. I have to say, Friday nights on Ron's channel after 10 o'clock at night UK time it's a bit Wild West.
It was an unexpected one, wasn't it? It just kind of developed.
Yeah, it was funny. It was good times. It was good times. Now we are slowly approaching the end of the show. Sadly, I'll be back on this channel tomorrow. And Sky Spirit, we should do something over on my channel one night with all the mystical shenanigans.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Shenanigans. But until then, like I say, the next. Oh God, who's calling? Hang on. It's Paola. 1 second. Paola, you're live. You're live on the Sean Atwood channel.
Oh, okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Okay, so that's what happens. You got the number. I'm going to pick up when I'm live. But listen, everybody, make sure you guys head over to Sean's stream. It should automatically direct you all. I will put the link in the description. And again, if Epstein and all of that stuff isn't not for you, we will be live over on ProjectROOQ. Totally different type of content, so you can take your pick. But we may have to. In fact, you know what? Let me kick you out of here, Sky, and see if I can get somebody else in for a question or two before the end. And I'll see you no doubt in the next show, my G. Okay, so let me just move the marshmallow of safety. Okay, that's the wrong screen, dumbass. The marshmallow of safety. Because we want to keep our job. Okay, so if you guys want to come and join us, well, me for the last 5 minutes, the link is now in the description, not in the description, it is in the side chat. And Ron has lost the thing he needs to use. No, yes, he has. No, he's not. No, he's not. Yes, doing my job, baby. We got this. So yeah, if you would like to come and join us, please feel free to do so. Click the link, come and ask a question. We'll be winding down in just a few minutes, and Sean will be live with Trump versus Maxwell. All of the interesting things that have gone on in South Park. It is just a beautiful thing. And myself, I'm going to be going over the shenanigans of a little rascal and his group of cronies. So it's going to be fun times. It's going to be fun times. Definitely not clickbaiting it at all, Deborah. Not at all. It's all about how you word it. Yeah, Deborah, the updates are coming tomorrow. I've got a whole week of stuff planned. It's just those shows have taken a little bit longer to prepare than I thought they would have, and they deserve the time. Also, any nights where Ron's going to be ranting at someone for being a naughty boy, he's probably going to have a couple of shots. And I don't want to do any nights where I'm talking about Julia where I've had a couple of shots. You know what I'm saying? It's like a respectpa thing. You know what I mean? So yeah. 2 minutes for the next Sean Atwood stream, as you can see on the screen here. Will it start on time? Let's hope so. It's a one-sided story, Ron. I don't know what you mean. So yeah. Ron, are you not doing the lunchtime news? So Rosie, I'm doing stuff at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but Ron's going to be testing a lot of like what I'm going to call pop-up shows this week that aren't set in stone. You won't see them until like 10 minutes before they go live. Everything else is getting pre-planned. Paula and I have got our new weekly show. I've got some interviews, primetime evening interview stuff set up for the new Sean Atwood audience in the realms that they enjoy. And yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited. It's a whole new chapter, shall we say, across the board. You know, I missed the daytime session. Well, I tell you what, listen, leave it with me, because it's all about what the community want, but that is demonstrated with numbers. It's demonstrated with who turns up. But I also understand the demographics and time differences, so Ron is very much up for tweaking. KLG, you're all good. You're all good, KLG. Don't ever have to worry about that. Everything's good. So yeah, we're just waiting on the boss man now, basically. Waiting on to make sure he's not accidentally sent this for a night that isn't tonight, and then it's suddenly going to change. I'm assuming he's going to start very, very soon. And what do you guys think of the new call-in stuff that we're sort of implicating? I'd started it originally on the Daily Show using WhatsApp and a number. Then the tablet broke and got sent back, and I never got a new number. So I think it's something we're going to roll out across the board. I'm going to get a WhatsApp number for people to use that don't want to use the link, and it's going to be a good little addition. You know, it's the next step up from Sean reading questions to the guest. It's level 2. We just get you on to say it yourself. Frickin' nailed it, mate. Frickin' nailed it. So yeah. I did, Susan, but it was an absolute nightmare because they had major microphone interference. So Ron's also like unscarable. So we need to go somewhere terrifying for the next one. And then come on, brain. Ron's going to do a couple of smaller ones in the house. Because Ron's house is haunted. Ron's got a lot of spirits. There's a lot of things that dwell around me that can be calleth forth for thy content. So there's also a project that's been worked on and off by me for years, where I want to create for the basis of understanding. Here, oh, Shawnee Boy is live.
You just go absolutely bonkers.
Bonkers.
We've got talks of Trump.
All right. Listen, love you guys. See you all over there. And thanks for being awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate every single one of you, and yeah, you make this what it is. So thank you. See you in the next one, guys. Peace.